So you have the right to ask these questions. And when it comes to finances, you want to know what it is a man does for a living, right? And how long he's been in his career, more than you want to know how much money he's making in his career. Because you want to know that he is able to maintain something consistently, that he knows how to commit to something. And most men will commit to a job or career or financial access before they'll commit to relationships and women. Women are always trustworthy. No, we're not. That's a lie. Get out of here. Women are not always trustworthy. If women were always trustworthy, we would never have sisters, best friends sleeping with the sisters and best friends' husbands. Get out of here. Okay? So you want to know what a man does for money. You want to know how long he's been in his career. And you want to know what he is contributing to financially before he's with you. What bills does he pay for himself? Where do you live? Who lives there with you? What are your responsibilities there? Right? What do you financially contribute to for yourself? Do you own your own home? Yay or nay? Okay, well, what type of home do you own? Is it a house? Is it a townhouse? Is it a condo? Oh, wow. Okay, that's great. Do you own your own car? Oh, wow. Do you have a car note? Right? Have you financed it? Have you leased it? Or did you buy it outright? Because you learn about his financial intelligence. This is how you avoid finding yourself in a position where you're a woman who is being financially abused. And that is happening more often than not. That is happening more often than not. Right? And in order to avoid the narcissists also who come into your life and make you think that they're going to take all the financial responsibilities off of your plate, you want to ask these questions. Just because a man buys you something does not mean that he's a provider. Just because a man pays for something does not mean that he's a provider. He could just be a manipulator. So when we're talking about never financially supporting a man, you also have to be mindful about what ways you allow a man to financially support you, because you don't want it to cripple you. You don't want it to be able to be used against you. You don't want to become a slave to his financial support, right? You don't want to get all gung-ho about him doing things for you financially to set you up in the beginning, and then later on you're doing all the things financially because you're holding on to the fact that he paid for dinner the first time that you went out, and he paid for a vacation when you first started dating him, but he's never paid for anything else. So financial intelligence is a thing. Financial responsibility is important. And you get to ask these questions early on. What do you do for a living? Oh, wow. Do you enjoy your career? How long have you been there? What company? How long have you been with your company? Right? You don't ever have to ask a man how much money he makes, because that can seem tactless. That can seem uncouth. You don't want to do that. But you can go home and you can Google it later, or you can Google it in the car. How much money does an aerospace engineer who works for NASA make? And you'll get a range. So you can gauge financially in that way. But you want to know his financial intelligence, his level of financial responsibility, the level of financial contribution that he makes to his own life and own well-being on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. So that you don't ever find yourself in a space or situation where you have become the financial provider.